Good evening. This is a priority one, Washington alert. The information you are about to receive is classified. It is being released under emergency protocols. I am speaking to you from a secure location within the state of Washington, USA. What I have to share is of the utmost importance to our national security. It concerns the very institution charged with protecting it. The Federal Department of Intelligence, or FDI, has been compromised. This is not a foreign attack. This is not a cyber incident from an outside actor. The threat, we have discovered, has been festering from within. It has been growing from the very top of our command structure. The Federal Department of Intelligence is our nation's shield. It operates from its headquarters here in Washington. Its mission is to gather, analyze, and act on intelligence to protect our interests at home and abroad. Its agents are sworn to uphold a code of loyalty, sacrifice. They work in the shadows to keep our country safe. They are the unseen guardians against threats you will never know. For decades, the FDI has stood as a bulwark against espionage and subversion. But today, we must confront a failure of that very mission. A failure that goes to the highest office in the entire department. We have confirmed a catastrophic breach of trust. The director of the Federal Department of Intelligence, Michael Trench, is a traitor. I will repeat that. Director Michael Trench has been unmasked as a mole. He has been secretly working against the interests of this nation. He has betrayed his oath, his country, and every single agent serving under his command. The man appointed to lead our intelligence efforts was, in fact, dismantling them from the inside. This is a betrayal of the highest order. It is a wound that cuts deep into the heart of our intelligence community. The implications of this discovery are staggering. Director Trench was not merely passing along low-level information. He held the keys to the kingdom. He had access to our most sensitive operations, our most valuable assets, and our most critical vulnerabilities. The full extent of the damage is still being assessed. But what we know for certain is that he was not working alone. He was an asset, a high-level mole for a mysterious and powerful organization. An organization whose influence appears to stretch across the globe. This alert is the first step in understanding how this happened and holding those responsible accountable. This breach was not uncovered by accident. It was brought to light by the courage and dedication of a few individuals within the FDI. They noticed things that were wrong. They saw patterns that did not make sense. They risked their careers and ultimately their lives to follow the truth wherever it led. The first among them was an operator known as Evan Tanner. He was a brilliant analyst, a man who saw the world in data and connections. Tanner was the first to detect the faint signals of a leak, a ghost in our machine. Working alongside Tanner were two exceptional field agents, Agent Barry Walker, Agent Catherine Andrews. Walker is a veteran investigator, known for his relentless pursuit of facts and his unshakable demeanor under pressure. Andrews is a specialist in counterintelligence, with a keen eye for human behavior and deception. Together, they formed a small, clandestine team. They began to investigate the anomalies that Tanner had flagged. They operated in secret, knowing that the source of the leak could be anyone, anywhere within the department. Their work was perilous, conducted under the very nose of the man they would eventually expose. The investigation took a dark and decisive turn. It led them to a conclusion they could barely comprehend. The evidence pointed directly to the director's office. It implicated Michael Trench himself. As they closed in on the truth, the stakes escalated dramatically. Operator Evan Tanner was killed. His death was no accident. It was a clear and brutal message. It was an attempt to silence the investigation and bury the truth forever. But it had the opposite effect. Tanner's death galvanized those who remained. It transformed suspicion into certainty and caution into a crusade for justice. This report is in many ways a testament to his final sacrifice. In the aftermath of Tanner's murder, a new and unlikely alliance was forged. Level 8 Supervisor Xavier Skinner, a man known for his fierce loyalty and unwavering dedication to the FDI, stepped out of the shadows. Devastated by the loss of one of his best operators and horrified by the betrayal, Skinner knew the system could no longer be trusted. He made a difficult choice. He reached outside the established channels. He partnered with an independent entity, a reclusive and highly skilled hacker known only by the codename Hall. Together, this supervisor and this hacker would work to finish what Evan Tanner started. They would expose the rot at the core of the FDI. The betrayal of Michael Trench is a story of personal corruption, but it is also much more than that. It is a window into the operations of an adversary unlike any we have faced before. Trench was not a lone wolf. He was a willing servant of a shadowy global organization. Our preliminary analysis indicates this group operates without borders, without allegiance to any single nation-state, without any recognizable moral compass. Its motives are not yet fully understood, but its methods are clear. It seeks to infiltrate, influence, and control the highest levels of power across the world. This organization is not a government. It is not a corporation. It appears to be a network, a consortium of powerful individuals and hidden interests. They recruit and control assets in key positions. They manipulate economies, destabilize governments, and steer global events to serve their own hidden agenda. Their reach is extensive. We have found traces of their influence in financial markets, political institutions, and intelligence agencies just like our own. They are a ghost network, operating in the seams of our interconnected world, and they can penetrate even the most secure establishments on the planet. The recruitment of a figure like Michael Trench would have been a crowning achievement for them. As the director of the FDI, he was perfectly placed to serve their interests. He could misdirect investigations, compromise our foreign assets, and feed them a steady stream of our most valuable intelligence. He could protect their operatives and sabotage our efforts to uncover their existence. The level of access he provided them is almost unimaginable. For years, the director of the Federal Department of Intelligence was simultaneously the guardian of our secrets and the instrument of our enemy's will. This is the true scale of the threat we now face. It is not just about one man's treachery. It is about the existence of a powerful, clandestine organization with the capability and the ambition to subvert our national sovereignty from within. They turned our greatest strength, the FDI, into their weapon. We must now ask ourselves, how many other institutions have they compromised? How deep does their influence run? The unmasking of Michael Trench is not the end of this story. It is the beginning of a much larger, much more dangerous conflict that has been waged in secret for far too long. The purpose of this alert, and the detailed report that will follow, is to provide a clear and unflinching account of this crisis. We believe that transparency, however painful, is the only path forward. This essay will lay out the complete timeline of events. It will detail how the initial signs of a high-level leak were first detected by operator Evan Tanner. We will walk you through the subtle data anomalies and the quiet inconsistencies in official reports that first caught his attention. It is a story of meticulous and dangerous detective work conducted right under the roof of the FDI. This report will then detail the investigation carried out by Agent Barry Walker and Agent Catherine Andrews. It will explain the specific steps they took to verify Tanner's suspicions. You will learn about the secret meetings they held, the risks they took, and the evidence they slowly pieced together. We will present the key incidents and data points that transformed a vague suspicion into a concrete investigation. You will see how the friction and paranoia grew within the department as their inquiry began to point toward the unthinkable, that the traitor was one of their own at the very highest level. Furthermore, this report will not shy away from the darkest moments of this affair. We will describe the shockwave that went through the small investigative team when the evidence pointed conclusively to Director Michael Trench. We will recount the tragic events that led to the death of Evan Tanner and the immediate, chilling fallout from his murder. This section will show how his death, intended to be a warning, instead became a catalyst. It intensified the resolve of Supervisor Xavier Skinner and provided the moral imperative for him to take extraordinary measures to ensure the truth came out. Finally, we will outline the unprecedented collaboration between Supervisor Skinner and the hacker known as Hall. This report will detail the technical methods they employed to bypass the compromised systems within the FDI. It will reveal the digital breadcrumbs and encrypted communications they uncovered, creating an undeniable link between Trench and the mysterious organization. We will expose the full scope of his betrayal. This is a story of failure and betrayal, but it is also a story of dedication and resolve. It is the story of how a few good people fought back against the darkness that had infected their home. Stay tuned. The story of this betrayal begins not with a bang, but with a whisper. It started deep within the FDI's vast digital archives, a place of silent, flowing information. Here, trillions of data points are collected, sorted, and analyzed every single day. For years, the system had run with near-perfect efficiency, a testament to the department's technological prowess. But then, small things began to go wrong. An operational report from a foreign station would arrive with a corrupted timestamp, off by mere milliseconds. A secure data packet, one of millions, would be flagged for a routing error that seemingly corrected itself. These were tiny, almost imperceptible anomalies, easily dismissed as digital noise in an ocean of information. These minor glitches were logged automatically by the system, as they were designed to be. They were reviewed by low-level technicians who, following protocol, classified them as non-critical system fluctuations. No single incident was significant enough to warrant a second look. They were the digital equivalent of dust motes dancing in a sunbeam, present but meaningless to the casual observer. The system itself was so complex, so vast, that a certain margin of error was expected. The department's top engineers had assured leadership that these were simply the ghosts that haunt any machine of this scale, random events without pattern or purpose. For months, they were ignored by almost everyone, but the anomalies persisted. They did not escalate, nor did they disappear. They maintained a steady, low-level hum of imperfection. A sensitive file might be accessed for a nanosecond longer than the query required. A keyword search on a high-value target might return a single, unrelated result before delivering the correct information. Each event, on its own, was inconsequential, but taken together, they formed a faint, almost invisible constellation of errors. It was a pattern so subtle that it could only be seen by someone who was not just looking at the data, but listening to its rhythm, feeling its pulse, and searching for the slightest arrhythmia. This was the environment of quiet, creeping doubt into which Operator Evan Tanner would soon step. The department continued its vital work, unaware that its own foundations were being subtly probed and tested. The security of the nation was being guarded by a system that had a flaw, a tiny crack in its armor. The ghost in the machine was not a ghost at all. It was a footprint, a digital breadcrumb left by an intruder who was not breaking in from the outside, but was already walking the halls. The first ripple had been created, and the calm surface of the FDI's confidence was about to be broken.